All right, so in 2016, Hillary Clinton was running for office. And when she was running for office during her campaign, she said a lot of different things, including baskets of deplorables, but hold with me. There was also other conversations about the fact that she said that she doesn't, that her politics don't match her beliefs or something about that, right? And I want to be able to have a conversation about that because as a Christian, my politics are not my beliefs. And I think that we should take that into consideration, especially considering the way that the Christian narrative is currently being pushed. I do not want you to be confused. I, once again, as I said, am a Christian. My mother is a pastor. However, I am fully aware of the fact that as a Christian, my beliefs should not be legislated. And it's because of a few different reasons. Reason number one is the fact that the founding fathers were so intentional on wanting to ensure that this country was not built on one particular religion that they made it a part of the Bill of Rights. Not a part of any Bill of Rights, but the First Amendment. Okay? The First Amendment is the one that says we do not recognize any particular religion. So we are not a Christian country. And that is something that I would like all of my Christian friends, all of those that are part of the church to understand. We are not a Christian country. Do we have a large population that is Christian? Yes. But there's a reason why the founding fathers did not want that to be what we were defined by. Part of the reason being England. England was literally run by the Church of England. The Church of England made decisions above the monarchy. That was up until a certain point within the monarchy. If I'm not mistaken, it was King Edward. King Edward is the one that ended up flipping that, right? And that's where the Tudors come in. If you don't know about the Tudors, then you need to understand the Tudors. The Tudors essentially ended up sponsoring a pirate to become king. That's a really, really brief synopsis. When he becomes king, he's also like, what do you mean I have to go and talk to the Pope before I can make any decisions? I'm the king. This doesn't make any sense. So then he ends up changing that law. He ends up changing that belief system. And now you have the Pope and then you also have the monarchy. But before then, nothing moved unless the head of the Catholic Church said it could move. That's why the founding fathers was like, no, thank you. So it is very important that we are aware of what things used to be when Christianity ran a nation, and the reason why this nation is not that way. Thing number two is this. It is very important that you have this delineation because there are a lot of single issue voters. And the single issue voters tend to get hung up on abortion. And it's very important for you to understand that you cannot legislate your beliefs and therefore force them on other people in order to deconstruct the single issue voter situation. Because a lot of people that are getting hung up on that is because of their religious beliefs. But their religious beliefs are not applicable when it comes down to people having the ability to choose. As a Christian, if you understand and read the Bible, then you understand that Christianity is all about choices. There is no choices that are made for you. And so it is very odd that you have a group of Christians that are seeking to take over government and institute and legislate Christianity, forcing non-Christians to pray, forcing non-Christians to read the Bible. What's next? Forcing non-Christians to go to church? This is absurd. And it's not even Christian. Because even in Christianity, Jesus, who is the savior of Christianity, does not force anyone into choosing to follow Christianity. No one at all. And so this misconstruing of the faith to then implement it in a political arena that then forces and subjugates people, strong arms people into having to believe and acquiesce their lives into this particular religious stance is not ethical. It's not moral. It's not Christian, nor is it constitutional. There is never a point in time in history where people choosing to do something because there are no other options was good. Ever. That's never been the case. So when it comes down to Christian politics, when it comes down to Christians being able to operate in the political arena, there's only one thing that should govern the decisions that it is that you are making. And that is, does it benefit the majority? Is it helping? If it's not stemming from out of that, then nothing needs to be done. Because by the time we're saying, I don't believe that they should be able to do a thing, I don't believe that they should be able to make choices about their own lives, I don't believe that they should be able to make their own medical choices, I don't believe that they should be able to make their own political choices, I don't believe that they should be able to make their own. And that is what you see within this administration. It is the suffocating of options. It is the suffocating of choices. It is the forcing of doing something on another. And when you are forcing your own free will on another person's free will, you have crossed a line. You have crossed a line. And as a Christian, I don't agree with it. And there are other Christians who need to take a look at the reasons why they are trying to do these things, come to terms with it, unlearn it. Because the reality is that in all of these other countries where you have Islam or other religions that are governing a particular land, that are governing a particular country, that's Sharia law. And we frown upon it anywhere else. But then we as Christians want to say it's okay because it's Christianity. It's not okay. Sharia law is still Sharia law. And if we are to believe that forcing a religious belief on other people is wrong in any context, that would also have to include within the context of Christianity. So no, you do not govern based off of your religious beliefs of what is right and wrong. You govern in a way that allows for people to be able to exercise and be empowered to make decisions about what's best for their own lives. And when we get to that point, we won't get hung up on a single issue and therefore cause ourselves to put ourselves in danger by forfeiting common sense and being able to vote for people that are going to do better good for the majority of people than you feeling like you're on a moral high ground to force people into your own belief system. That's not how anything works.